Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, Candy, roll call, please.
Mr. Dudley?
Here.
Mr. Humphrey?
Here.
Mr. Moats?
Yeah, here.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Yerga?
Yes. Okay, do I have a motion to accept the agenda and addendum, please?
I'll move.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mr. Yerga?
Yes. All right, we are at administrators reports. I'm gonna look here.
Mrs. Sowers isn't here because her daughter had had a soccer game. Mrs. Thomas is working part-time days because, she recently had some health issues, so she's not here. She went
Dawn?
to Seacrest.
You're next.
Okay, here we go. All right, we finished our fall benchmark testing, quit, this fall. In math and reading, we're now processing and analyzing the data and creating our reading improvement plans. Our focus PACS kernel, this month was PACS Voices. Some of our internal partners started or did grade level assemblies with the students with their vision for spaces outside of the classroom. That would be the lunchroom and recess and the hallway, and that went very well. One thing we're super excited about, Mr. Jones is coming back and let him volunteer and do a technology program for us. It's it's Scratch Junior, which is a coding program for children, so we're super excited about that. We're starting our fall fundraiser next Wednesday. The theme is greatest of all times. Last year we surpassed our goal, so if we do this year, I might have to kiss a goat. And finally, we're planning for our first family engagement activity, trunk or treat, October 25th, 5:30.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Meadowbrook Middle School, Mr. Ray.
Thank you. Hi. At the middle school, we also had a great first month. We had kids back and getting classes moving, and we've been enjoying. We have several things that are coming up here in the very near future. Our science club, the first meeting happens next Monday, the 26th, and Ms. Bradshaw does a great job of organizing that. Our Washington DC trip parent meeting, assuming the trip's approved tonight, of course, is next Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the evening in our cafeteria. Then we'll go over everything with the parents, making sure they know when it is, how much it is, what fundraising things we can have for them, and all the good things we're going to do there. Our Makers program is also starting up here at the beginning of October. There's a parent meeting on October 6th at 4. Then the after-school program begins on October 10th. And that's a 2.5-hour program, 4 days a week, and does all kinds of STEM activities, all kinds of community organizations come in, and also some time building just for helping with their studies and their schoolwork. We just wrapped up our first and really our only major fundraiser, candy bar fundraiser. We sold just shy of 600 boxes of candy in about 7 days. So the kids did really well on that, and that pays for all of our trips and all of our rewards and activities and stuff with kids all year. And this lastly, our middle school sports are pretty rocking right now. Volleyball teams only lost one game each. Football teams haven't lost, and the 8th grade team is beating people by 40 plus points a game. So we're pretty excited about all that.
Good, thank you. All right, Meadowbrook High School, Mr. Golick.
Well, like Mrs. Hare, we just finished up math testing, or we're almost finished. Thank you, Mr. Baughman. I know he's not here tonight, but he helped extend it. We got a little late start to high school, but we're gonna have it finished. Once it's all done, we'll analyze the data as well and go from there. Second of all, we have our 8 students on our student advisory committee. I'm really pleased with who we have. We'll have our first meeting in 2 weeks. We'll meet with the students once a month during the advisory period. Gives them a chance to talk to us, what they see in the school, maybe some things they would like to see changed, and we get a perspective from the students. So kind of looking forward to get that started and hopefully more information to come. Next week's a big week for the high school. It's Spirit Week, it's homecoming. So we have different dress days throughout the week, Twin Day, Pajama Day, we've got all kind of days going on. Parade is Wednesday at 6:30, downtown Byesville. We'll start lining up at 6. The parade will start at 6:30. Football game, Friday night, against, I believe it's against Coshocton next week. That's homecoming. Well, obviously they'll announce the King and Queen. And then on Saturday is our dance from 8 to 11. We've done something a little different, and I appreciate Mr. Detra giving me support on this. In order to come to any extracurricular activities, you must have your final forms finished. So Shelley's going down.
All right. All of our forms are digital now, and it's tough to get people to do it, so.
I can't believe it's homecoming already.
Hey, listen, this is week 6 in high school football.
That's crazy.
It moves.
Wow.
So there's only 3 weeks left of the grade period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of weeks
Wow.
in October.
Well, thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Bullock.
Yes, sir.
We're down to public participation. Does Byesville have anything? You guys don't wanna?
No.
Nothing?
That's
Anybody else?
hard to get these guys.
I know, usually you can't shut them down. All right.
Some use at home, I don't.
All right, next is treasurer's report. I'm gonna turn it over to Candy.
I have approval of the minutes from August 25th, approval of financial report for August, and approve the resolution transferring funds from general fund to the building fund as presented.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Singleton?
Yep.
Mr. Yerga?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
All right.
What resolution number is that? You know, have one yet, Candy?
Ally always puts that in after,
Just curious.
just the minutes.
All right, we are to standing committees. First is policy. Mr. Moats and Mr. Humphrey. Is there anything under policy?
No,
Nothing?
nothing.
Still early in the year, isn't it? Athletic, I don't have anything. Brad, nothing? Student achievement, Mike.
Really nothing there either. They're, nothing really from the state, so.
Anything at Mideast?
No, they're continuing to plug along.
We don't have any insurance negotiations or anything right now. Building and grounds, Darren, Brad, anything?
Nope. No.
Okay, nothing under audit. I don't have anything under community outreach. I spoke to a few parents that had some concerns, but it was some issues that we can't oversee.
Yeah,
You and I
it's
had a
not part of
conversation,
our- yeah.
not part of our, but I did have some parents call and come and see me about some stuff. It's relatively minor stuff, but there again, we can't advise them on it.
I think Mike said something.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the board know that we have started the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame Committee. We are actively looking for nominees. We sold cowbells at the first home football game just to raise money for our committee, and that was a nice fundraiser because a lot of people bought cowbells. Even the Barnesville people were buying cowbells.
Cool.
So, and when we said we don't care because $5 a cowbell is $5 a cowbell.
That's right.
But one of the things I do want to ask, a couple years ago, this board offered support to the Hall of Fame Committee, financial support. And I was, the committee's asking if that is still something that this board's willing to do.
I remember the conversation.
I do too,
can't
but I
remember
thought it was a couple
exactly the
$1,000,
details.
wasn't it, Candy? Like,
Yeah,
I think it
but
was
remember,
too.
I cannot give them the money, their
That's-
expenses would have to run through us, and
Okay.
we could pay.
Yeah, there
Okay.
was an issue. They did
Yeah.
approach us.
Right, and I'm just, is the board still willing to cover the expenses so I can report back to them?
Are you willing to have that discussion? I guess?
Yeah.
We can have the discussion, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, I think so. Have the discussion.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know.
I'll help us
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, so the committee can approach us and,
Okay.
yeah,
All right,
yeah, if they wanna come in and sign in under participation, we can
Sure.
definitely, yeah.
okay.
Right, is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. 9, Business Advisory Committee, nothing?
Nope. And those two will be
Nothing
here.
under transportation or food service, any old business? Superintendents Report, Mr.
I've
Detra.
got a lot, but I'll try to be quick. Quick enough to get you home and see the game. So, obviously, we have a couple positional changes. It's largely shuffling people around because we've been able to hire bus drivers, and we've got a whole list waiting to be hired. So the bonuses have been
You do have,
fantastic
Wow.
success. Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's what a couple of those on there are, and then of course we have some advisors and things, and we had to shuffle some cooks around to make it work. But yeah, we've hired 2 full-time, we have 2 going through training right now, and we have a couple that, if it opens back up, will take full-time jobs pretty much immediately, so.
That's really
It
good.
has been a huge success. FFA put in all of their overnight trips for the year on B. C, Neola update, just kind of housekeeping. Approved the ski club as an official club through the school. They go 4 or 5 times a year. Trent Gatus runs that, does a great job. Approved the resolution of intent not to provide career tech education for grades 7 and 8. That's something that Ohio Board of Education requires us to do. Approve early graduation applicants that you have and accept the following resignations: Nancy Dyer and Elizabeth Blankenship. Blankenship took a full-time job somewhere else. She was a sub for us. Nancy is not leaving. She just shifted to a different role in a longer bus route. So I'm gonna stop there at first. Can I do A through G to begin with?
Okay, A through G, do we have a motion to accept A through G?
I'll make that motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Yurdak?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next section, you'll see why I'm breaking these up as we go. Accept the following retirements, and these are some names that have been around. Mr. Moats and I were talking since we were in school. Chuck and Shirley Cornett and Bill Anderson. They are all going to retire at the end of this calendar year. Like I said, Shirley Cornett was it was a study hall advisor or something when I was in high school. I know Chuck's been here just as long, and I think Bill's been here
I
longer than
think Bill was
so-
here when Brad and I.
Bill was here when I was in school.
Was he?
Yeah, in elementary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very different without them, but you know, of course, we're happy for both of them. Or for all 3 of them. So they will be retiring the end of the calendar year. It's part of the reason we were pushing to get drivers so hard, because obviously we're going to have to replace them. Approved agreement with OUE and us. Approved the lease agreement between GMN and Rolling Hills. That's where GMN's over here in the old Beach Grove. Approve MOU on the bus changes, which is the bonus and trip pay changes. And approve Joan Duncan as a surrogate parent. So H through L, please.
Do I have a motion for H through L?
Oh, no. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Yurdak?
Yes.
All right, M, approved agreement to purchase a bus as presented. We have some older buses, and we have not replaced buses regularly in the past. So Mr. May and I have started a rotation. We're gonna try to buy a bus each year. We think next year we can start getting yearly grants to pay half of it. But we've never really had a rotation like that, and you can tell from our fleet. So we are selling some of them off for parts right now, and then with this, we're gonna start a yearly rotation until we get it taken care of. Varsity girls softball going on a spring training camp to Myrtle Beach. I wish they did that stuff when I was in school. And then, of course, you know, we've been working with the village a lot here lately. Approved the agreement between the village and the school for district field. They are taking care of district field moving forward here, and of course the girls softball programs will have first shot at it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it looks fantastic.
Fabulous.
Mayor himself out here working on a couple days a week. Updated ECO contract, and then the big one that we kind of added here at the end of the day when we got it finalized, approved the real estate agreement with the village and Rolling Hills Local School District as presented. This is a big success for both of us, I feel. The district's come to an agreement with Byesville. They are going to take over Byesville Elementary when we move into the new buildings, which, you know, is obviously great for the future of Byesville. And it's also nice for us because it maintains a part of the district and the area history. So, you know, excited about that as well. So M through Q.
Motion.
Just before we do that, I'd like to, I mentioned to these guys before everybody was here and we were on camera, Byesville, thank you. And, town looks great, everything, I mean, I wanna give you guys a big pat on the back because, it's nice working with you and we appreciate everything.
I appreciate it.
I should ask, do you want to say anything?
Well, I mean, basically, we just appreciate the relationship that we are fortunate to have, and, you guys continue to do amazing things and with the children and, you know, and the community, and I just appreciate you.
Well, we feel the same way.
Yeah, so
I
that's
can-
mutual.
Yeah, I definitely, feel like you guys have done a lot with town and things are really good and you do a good job, so thank you. All right, motion, what, L, I
M
guess?
through Q.
M through Q, please. Brad,
Yep.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Yerga?
Yes.
All right, my final one, the Lady Singleton Parapro, effective step 1. Can I have a motion for R?
I'll move.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Yerga?
Yes.
Mr. Moats?
Yes.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Mr. Singleton?
Abstain.
All right, correspondence, I think, did you have anything
I'm gonna
there?
add information.
Informational items.
I feel like I've talked this whole meeting. So a couple big announcements, I know. A couple big announcements. First of all, I want to thank the staff and the students. Our test scores come back amazing. You know, obviously room for improvement areas. We want to get better, but highest graduation rate in the area by a good bit, 98%. And the highest progress rate, which is how much progress students make in a year compared to what they're expected to make in the area. So we've also made progress in some other areas, but that's huge. That's out of 7 surrounding schools, so
I just want to clarify, you said the highest?
the highest.
Okay, and what was those 2 areas again? I just wanted to-
Graduation rate and student progress.
Okay, so then thank you.
Yeah, amazing. ABC did run a great
Couple
article,
extra
so, you
plugs
know.
here, man. I wanna thank everybody, the teachers, everybody, the
Right.
hard work, I know, with what we went through with COVID and the discussions we've had for, kids to rebound means a lot, and teachers, administrators, the whole district, it means a lot, because I was nervous, you know, I seen what people went through, and, it means a lot to see that we're back on track, so. thank you.
Graduation rate, which is a K-12, you know, everybody works on graduation rate, has increased for 6 straight years.
Wow,
Good.
that's even through the COVID.
That's through COVID.
Wow, that's awesome.
Last thing, and I don't have a lot of details yet, but Mr. Moats and I are working on, we talked about getting some blueprints of the new building to put out in the buildings around the district to let people kind of experience it. And we kind of come up with a better idea. We are going to buy, have you seen some of those 3D headsets like the kids play games on?
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality headsets. We're gonna buy some computers and virtual reality headsets and set them up in a couple of the buildings and rotate them around so people can actually walk through.
Will this
the
be
blueprint.
public accessible?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
really neat.
So, I don't really have a time frame on it yet. We're getting some prices together, but that's gonna be something here soon. So I think that, it's hard to visualize it in 3D
Yeah.
on a blueprint, you know, and
Yeah.
especially if you haven't sat through the hours of meetings that we've sat through. So, you know, I think it's a little more
You gonna
21st
set that up,
century. a
are you?
little-
You're the
I'm
computer
gonna,
guy.
we're gonna help figure it out. I'm not gonna be, yeah.
That'd
We'll
be
make sure we get it working right.
That is cool, I like that.
I think that once somebody's able to actually enter virtual reality and look into each classroom and to see what it looks like, it will be exciting and it's going to be refreshing. Until I got into the virtual reality world with it, not to actually explore it, I was having a hard time grasping it, so I think Mr. Dutcher is exactly right. It's clear that that's how people can actually get back into this and
Yeah,
be
especially the
excited
ones that
again.
really have concerns and questions that you, like you said, you've tried to respond to them, but you can't explain it.
It's hard and 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, I didn't, that's
Buy a
good
couple
news.
Cadillacs to run it, you know?
Yeah.
Better machines.
And we'll rotate them around, so.
Will you guys continue to, impress me, thank you, that's awesome.
No problem, that's, I'll be
We
quiet
don't,
now.
you done? Are you
I'll be
about
quiet.
done? Okay, we don't have any executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I was gonna say, I looked at you because I knew you were. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Singleton?
Yes.
Mr. Modes?
Yes.
Mr. Dudley?
Yes.
Mr. Alfred?
Yes.
Mr. Reader?
Yes. And our next board meeting is October 27th at 6:30 PM tentatively, but we've been sticking to it pretty good.
Yeah, just heads up, we'll have to move the November meeting because it's Thanksgiving. So you might wanna start thinking ahead and we
Thinking
can
ahead.
move that
The
next
next
meeting.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yes, thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Everybody go enjoy the Browns.
That's right.